Someone who knows all about the early morning. You start your day with him. Newstalk 580 CFRA's Bill Carroll in Toronto tonight, part of the election night panel. And Bill, you'll be encouraged to give your opinion tonight on that panel. You will not need too much nudging on that front. But what are you looking for this evening?
Well, I'm hoping for some surprises because there's nothing more boring than things turning out exactly the way everyone is predicting. I was just back in the green room with all of the really smart pundits that are going to be on the show tonight, and everybody seems like they know exactly what's going to happen. But I grew up in Toronto as a Leaf fan, and no lead is a big enough lead if you're a Leaf fan. So that's how I'm taking the election tonight, that just because you think you know what the outcome is going to be, you never actually know until you play the game. So, you know, the polls were tightening up at the end. You got to get your vote out. That's what today's been all about, getting people to actually go out and do what they told the pollsters they were going to do and vote they said they were going to vote. So you never know at the last minute. I mean, pollsters can ruin the excitement before us a little. They're usually fairly accurate, but every once in a while they get it wrong. And I'm hoping that we at least get a nice long night out of all of this before we figure out who's going to be the next prime minister of our country.
And a nice long series. I'm going to extrapolate from that you're predicting sends in 7. But let's stay focused on the election. And Donald Trump seems to have this election in his sights a little bit, chiming back in today. That has been a theme throughout this election campaign, kind of having to deal with the Trump factor. How much will that be a topic of discussion tonight?
Well, I guess if we were going to have a lower than expected voter turnout, he'd probably put an end to that. I'm sure that got Canadians fired up again and in a mind your own business, leave us alone kind of frame of mind. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I started to just kind of not take Donald Trump quite as seriously because he's backed down a whole lot on his threats. And then this thing came out today, and as a Canadian, it just infuriates you all over again. But what does that actually mean? I mean, could you look at his tweet and know who he's supporting? A lot of people think it's Mark Carney. They can't understand why it would be Mark Carney, but I don't know that you can jump to that conclusion. I think he woke up this morning and figured people in Canada are talking about someone other than him, and he wanted to insert himself into the race. So what it actually does at the polls today and encourages people to do, I just don't think you can tell anymore.
Well, it will be an interesting evening of viewing for sure. Look forward to seeing you and the panel and everyone else participating in our CTV coverage tonight. Have fun with it, Bill.
I will, and then we can get back to hockey tomorrow night, right?
Sounds good. Bill Carroll from Newstalk 580 CFRA. You can listen to him between 6 and 10 a.m. every day.